Child, come on in, come on in. I am back with a recap of Love and Hip Hop Atlanta Season 12, Episode 21. So, Spice is playing clueless, but she knows exactly why Jock and Saucy not really feeling her messy album. Now, she doesn't want to admit it, but if you have to keep explaining why your project isn't messy, Spice, it's probably messy. Jock has every right to say no if he doesn't want to be a part of something negative. Not every opportunity is worth taking. Beyonce ain't out here saying yes to everything, so why should he? Now, Spice isn't necessarily wrong for wanting to create this album featuring the cast, but she's wrong for acting like she don't understand why people are not feeling it. She keeps saying she's just a producer, but she knew exactly what she was doing. The album is messy. And Jock and Saucy, they saw it for what it is. She can't have it both ways. Either own that, the album is full of drama or make a positive album. But pretending that you don't understand why people are giving you the side eye, girl, stop. So then we have this messy bunch that link up. This was so awkward. Erica Banks, Jessica, Shekinah, and Kirk's former mistress and her homegirl. This whole link up screams messy and opportunistic. Erica Banks and Jasmine, all of a sudden, y'all buddy. That's suspicious to me. Considering Jasmine just ambushed people you consider your friends not too long ago. And Erica, you was all in Yandy's face and now you kicking it with Jasmine? Child, these alliances change like the seasons. But as soon as Jasmine and her homegirl arrived, Jessica wasted no time stirring the pot. Before the girl could even sit down, she was like, so I heard Mendeecees tried to talk to you. Is that true? Well, damn, can she sit down first? But the girl shut it down, saying it wasn't true. But wait, honey, she has something else up her sleeve. She conveniently claimed to know someone Mendeecees was involved with. And Jessica dropped out her own bombshell, and she said Mendeecees tried to talk to her niece. And when she asked if he was married, he said it's complicated. Ooh. Now, according to Jasmine's friend, okay, because I forgot her name. Is it Erica? Yeah. According to Jasmine's friend, Erica, her friend is allegedly Mendeecees' side chick. But this friend has been silenced, okay, and she's afraid to speak out because of Mendeecees. Now, Shekinah is not buying her story, but she did say that Jessica doesn't lie. And Jessica, well, she has receipts, which, of course, will be revealed later in the season. Honestly, I don't believe either one of them, but I do believe Mendeecees has a side chick. I don't believe it's one of them. However, I doubt if it would be with a woman this close to the group. He can't be that stupid. Not only that, they seem a little too eager to expose this information, knowing that it will hurt a person they call their friend. This doesn't sit right with me. It's given opportunists. Because if they truly cared about Yandy, why are they so eager to humiliate her? But let's not act like Yandy don't be laughing at other folks' drama. I'm just saying. But Jessica, you were too pressed to bring up these allegations about Mendeecees. You just seemed too pressed. If this was really about Yandy, wouldn't they have handled this privately? Instead, she puts it out there on camera, making it become part of her storyline. And don't even get me started on this side chick. She too afraid to speak out. Child, who y'all fooling? Y'all could have left that on the cutting room floor. If y'all don't have receipts, why even bring it up? It's just a messy filler to stir the pot without actually serving the soup. And, Jessica made a comment about how people keep holding Jasmine accountable with this, Kirk and Rasheeda thing, but not Kirk. Kirk has been held accountable. This man been dragged for 10 years. Okay, and they still dragging his ass. And I get that some people want to extend grace to Jasmine because she really made a mistake in the past. But the real issue is how she's still moving messy in the present. Okay, it's not about holding her past over her head. It's about the fact that this is just who she is. And that's exactly why Yandy checked her. Yandy's stance has always been simple. Don't come to a party talking about my friend and her husband when they're not here to defend themselves. Instead of Jasmine addressing the person who actually needed to hear that Kirk is still trying to smash, Jasmine was out there running her mouth to everybody. That's the reason most of the fans don't like her. It has nothing to do with her affair she had with Kirk. It's the person she is today, and she messy. I mean, look how she ran up on Mendeecees and Yandy. The girl is messy. And honestly, I'd rather have a friend like Yandy, someone who keeps it real and calls out nonsense, than these fake as hell friends like Jessica and Erica Banks. But moving on. Now, Ashley meets up with her little sister, who, by the way, has more sense than her big sister. Now, Ashley tells her little sister that her nephew moved out. Honey, call it what it is. You kicked your son out to go stay with his daddy, okay, to save your messy marriage. Don't try to sugarcoat it. But in her confessional, Ashley says that if she and Zane are going to work, he has to be honest, baby girl. When has he not been honest? His actions has been speaking louder than his words. He's been telling you from day one that he's not serious about marriage. He might not have said it directly, but his actions have been saying it all along. So what more do you want from him? He's been honest. The fact of the matter is you're not listening. So her sister didn't bite her tongue. She told her straight up, you should have bounced a long time ago. And Ashley goes, well, we've been together for 11 years. And her sister said, 11 years mean nothing when it was 11 years of bullshit, that part. That was a whole mood because 11 years of nonsense doesn't equal anything worth holding on to, honey. So then her sister asked if she feels like Zane respects her. And Ashley said not at all. Then she goes on talking about how she's holding on because of the kids and how much time she invested. Here she go again. If you were trying to hold on because of the kids, you sent one of your kids away. you are staying because you want to, and that's fine. For your marriage to be so bad that you had to send your son away because of Zane, how is that for the kids, honey? You stayed because you were invested, not for the sake of the kids, so stop saying that. You had to send your son away for a marriage that's this toxic and you're still clinging on? Stop acting like it was all about the kids when you holding on for all the wrong reasons. And you have every right to want to stick it out, but don't be lying on the kids. Now, this next scene with Karlie and her husband cracked me up. Karlie was on one during this date night with her husband. So she was throwing, shade about being glad to be away from Bambi and Jessica, who are always trying to run her life while they're still sitting there single. This was funny because, some women, not all, once they get married, they act like, marriage is the ultimate prize and they just have to rub it in their single friends' faces. But it's not the end all be all for every woman. Some want it, some don't. But Bambi, she's divorced, and Karlie is on her third marriage. So for her to throw shade at Bambi about being single again, the irony is just too much, honey, because you're on your fourth marriage. But what made it even funnier is that Karlie's current marriage feels very off. Nobody knew they were married, not even his own mama. Now, how is that even possible? Because marriage is supposed to be this major life event, and it's something you want to share with your loved ones, especially those closest to you. So this whole shotgun wedding vibe is definitely raising red flags. And I'm not buying it either. It just doesn't feel real if it's being, kept that much of a secret that his own mama wasn't there. I'm not buying it. Cute couple, but I'm not buying it. And on, honey, the CEO of the Messy Bunch, Jessica, honey, she's back at it again. This time with some new recruits. She meets up with Saucy Santana and Renni Rucci, but Renni don't do messy, so the only real recruit is Saucy. So Jessica, who once slept on Karlie's couch, is now talking shit about her. She also announces that she's been hanging out with Kirk's former mistress. Oh, she was proud about that. And Saucy chimes in and said that he likes her. Of course he does. Birds of a feather. You know the rest. Jessica spills the tea to Saucy and Renni that Mendeecees has been up to no good with multiple women. Jessica, do you even have a storyline of your own? Or is your storyline just to be in everybody else's business? Asking for a friend. Meanwhile, Erica Banks is linking up with her girl T Woods, who just so happens to be Karlie's husband, baby mama. Now hold up. So Erica said she didn't know that her longtime friend had a kid with Tilo, which is Karlie's husband. How convenient. How convenient. So Tilo allegedly told his ex-girlfriend slash baby mama one day that he'd be in Africa working on a Netflix movie, only for her to find out that he was actually with Karlie. Ooh, Karlie, girl, if this true, you might be single again sooner than we expected. It seemed like Tilo likes to play games. Breaking hearts out here, Karlie. Be careful. Moving on, Ashley is sitting with her little sister when Zane comes, doing the absolute most. This man really shows up with a violinist, if that's how you say it, and the group Soul for Real, trying to serenade Ashley like some 90s R&B music video. Ashley, girl, he is making a whole mockery out of you. He's not trying to win you back, honey. He is clowning you. It was honestly just some performative nonsense, okay? He was all about, creating a scene, okay, trying to put on a show. He wasn't taking anything seriously, and honestly, neither was Ashley, because she's been in this cycle with him for over a decade, and deep down, she knows exactly who he is. But meanwhile, the little sister is going toe to toe with Zane, honey. She is letting him have it. She's not backing down. But Zane clearly rattled. He tries to deflect and ask her where her man at. Now, while they going back and forth, the violin lady, she stops playing. And Zane was like, why you stop playing? I'm paying you. So Ashley's sister tells him he has to leave, and Ashley eventually slams the door in his face, which was probably just for the cameras. The moment those cameras stopped rolling, he was probably right back inside like nothing ever happened. Same old routine, same old nonsense. Meanwhile, Spice, Saucy, Shekinah, Kendra, and Renni, they link up for some skating. So Saucy spills to the ladies about Zell calling him crying after losing his baby and blaming him for it. Then Spice brings up the cast album that Zell is set to be featured on, and Saucy lets loose. He goes in on Zell, calling him a clown, rapping about someone who don't give a damn about him. While Spice and Renni, they cracking up, right? He said Zell need to get in the studio and rap about that hurt about his baby because that's what music is about. And he tells Spice to keep it real with Zell. She said make him do a real song because the whole project is full of clowns, talking about Bambi and Amy on a cast album, throwing disses at each other over Scrappy. And boom, that's when Spice stopped laughing. Oh, it was all fun and jokes until it wasn't. And Saucy calling out Amy and Bambi's back and forth over Scrappy, he said that's clown behavior, and that's why he didn't want to be on the album. He said it felt like it was giving messy, and that's when Spice really got in her feelings. But he wasn't talking about her as an artist. He was talking about the foolishness surrounding that damn project, which is the same thing that Jock said. But honey, if looks could kill, Saucy would be gone, honey, because Spice was offended. Okay, she said, "What do you mean clownery? It's an album." He said, "Yeah, full of clowns." In my opinion, I think Spice made it too personal. Talking about how she has more streams than him on Spotify. But Saucy said, well, he has more streams than everyone else on the project. That's when the gloves come off, honey. They start going back and forth, and Saucy reminds her, bitch, you called me, I didn't call you. And that's when Spice had enough and she decides to leave. But Saucy did have a point. Spice produced a messy album, and she constantly says she's just the producer, but she knew what she was doing. But I think she took it the wrong way, but he wasn't lying. Her project is messy, and she don't want to hear it. They both were out of line. I do think Spice overreacted, in my opinion. But overall, they both were out of line. And Spice is the better, bigger artist. Yes, she has more streams than Saucy, but he wasn't talking about her. And why she called him a a TikToker and a one-hit wonder child, I fell out. Died, okay? Now, two things could be true at the same time. Spice did produce a messy album, and Saucy wasn't attacking her as an artist, but calling out the messy energy in the project. That's the part Spice couldn't quite hear because she was caught up in her damn ego. She's a big name. She's a legend. So when someone calls out her project, she took it as a personal attack on her artistry. But Saucy was more focused on the content, not her skills as an artist. Just like Jock did, Saucy is calling out the drama and the messiness behind this damn album. Spice is a huge global artist, okay, no doubt about it. And she has a lot of credibility in the game, but even legends can be a little too blind to their own choices when they get defensive. Spice got defensive because she's been in this game too long and she expects respect. But Saucy was telling the truth. The project is messy. And I don't know, I don't understand why she don't see it. A Saucy was just telling the truth about the project's direction, honey. It's giving messy. But Spice felt like he was knocking down her career. And that's why she threw out her streaming numbers. Ooh, child.